Some may ask, what's the big deal with big cats? What have they done for us? Well, they sustain our natural habitats, they balance fragile ecosystems, and for tens of thousands of years, they've been the spiritual inspiration for cultures all around the world. So the question isn't, what do they do for us? It's how can they inspire us today to conserve our natural world for tomorrow?
Well, that's a great question. I think that this is the topic of this dialogue series, and it is the right question to ask ourselves.
Humans really for the first time are coming together and they're saying, look, it's not just about stopping destroying nature, it's about moving towards a nature positive approach.
Human, animal, plant, and environmental health and well-being are all intrinsically connected.
Our constitution mandates every citizen to be a champion of the environment. And by that token, I think that a champion of climate.
The tiger maintains the ungulates, which in turn maintain flora. The rich forest attracts rainfall, which in turn helps in making rich agriculture. Wherever tiger is present in Terai and Nepal, that area is rich in agriculture and nature.
It's amazing how many indigenous communities have jaguar tails. Now we, as indigenous communities, try to maintain our ecosystems in a very spiritual manner. Our ecosystems are comprised by animals that are sacred to us.
In our community, we believe that tiger is our brother. So tiger also have a same status in our society, whatever our tribe have. So for that, we'll have to work and very strong support to the tiger.
I'm glad that in Tajikistan the snow leopard considered a holy animal and its killing is a big sin. Everyone wants to see this rare and mysterious and beautiful creature.
Bhutan, as you know, is sandwiched between two big countries, China to the north and India to the south. I think these big cats can also serve as species to promote peace, to promote cross-border cooperation.
We have to identify the stakeholders, include the local people as well as policy makers, and bring out a more holistic conservation plans, which includes crossing borders from various nations.
Believe it or not, a typical snow leopard conservation program addresses anywhere between 10 to 13 of the 17 development goals. What we really need today is economic development that is not just market-driven, but also grounded by cultural values and ecological security.
The conservation of big cats and their habitat is in our own best interest and will offer us from the worst impact of climate change and help us to adapt and reduce the risk of next zoonotic spillover and possibly the next big pandemic.
We can make big cats and the importance of nature relevant to business. And it's not just risk anymore. The flip side of risk is opportunity. It's about creating a new narrative about what companies can do for nature.
The point is how to make sure that sustainability is profitable, because otherwise it will be very difficult for governments to enforce sustainability. How do you drive investment? Or importantly, how do you stay away and let conservation take its pace?
With ecotourism now, 60% of our workforce are now women and 90% are in the management teams in the ecotourism business, which I really believe creates a very nice virtual circle because it's good for the landowner, it's good for the local people, and obviously good for jaguars and all the animals that inhabit the same biome with it. We can no longer view nature protection and conservation as a competing interest to economic and social development.
Our natural security is so intimately connected in so many parts of the world with our national security.
We need to act differently. We need to get out of our silos. We need to think much bigger across institutional and disciplinary boundaries.
Because you want to be a better global citizen, you can figure out where your stuff comes from or where it shouldn't come from. And that just needs to be a priority. There's no silver bullet. You just got to do the work to figure that out.
It's going to require all of us coming together. It is about conserving these forests. It's about conserving these ecosystems. And it's about looking at building a model for sustainable development across these regions.
In a year where we as a global community have lost so much, we have now a unique chance to come together to recover from this crisis, conserve our natural world, and hence ensure the well-being of our population and generations to come.
In our landscapes, we build a lot of temples because we want to consecrate that space. We want to create magic. I think in the wild, as long as we have species like the tigers, we have species like the jaguars, we have species like the snow leopards, I think those landscapes are consecrated. As long as these big cats remain, I think our landscapes will still remain sacred and magical.